All right, welcome to the Cannabis Packaging Show, the world's first cannabis packaging show, the 12 days of Christmas. I did individual YouTube shorts, so you can check out the different products, but I'm gonna show them all off here one by one, just as a final compilation here. So this is a board pop top. Again, 80% reduction in plastic. We can do a food grade liner in here. We got a couple sizes of this, so we could do an eighth of flower or a pre-roll or a vape. 80% reduction in plastic. Imagine if every pop top went into that, 80% less plastic. That's tons and tons of plastic to help solve the plastic problem. Number two was the industry jar made with ocean-bound plastic, 100% ocean-bound plastic. So best-selling industry jar, awesome customer experience, extra freshness insert. We have data to prove that keeps the product extremely, extremely fresh. It's got that beautiful differentiated look, okay? Industry jar. Next, GRS certified CS value jar. If you're looking to really keep your price point down, but you want a jar, GRS certified. We've done episodes before talking about what GRS is, chain of custody. It proves that the plastic is recyclable. Great product, great differentiation. We got a little freshness insert and seal that we can put in there as well. Up next, we had the tobacco style pouch with Contempo here, with the little rolling papers here. This is a really cool option. Consumers really seem to love it. It's this tobacco style pouch with the Contempo here. Contempo accelerates the biodegradation of plastics in a landfill environment, and most flexibles end up in the landfill because they're made with multiple layers of plastic, and that makes them non-recyclable. Very few bags are what's called monomaterial. And even when they are monomaterial, they need to go to custom store drop-off. So we're talking such a small percentage that get recycled. So until there's a great plant-based alternative to flexible packages, which is in the works, we love putting Contempo here in our flexible packages to make sure that they biodegrade faster and they don't just pile up in the landfill. Up next was the Safe Slide box, a CR box. If you look at that unbelievable, gorgeous packaging, this one is for some chocolates, but this could also be great for a pre-roll pack. And there's a vac right inside here that could be great to preserve pre-rolls. You could do this as a tray with a foil seal. And the awesome thing about this is there's also a material reduction story. Instead of an outer box and an inner box with a vac inside to keep things fresh, you just have the vac on the inside. That's called the Safe Slide box. And you'll notice these QR codes on our packaging. This is what we call video-enabled sustainable packaging. I'll put a link down in the description to an article about that, but this is the idea of when you move to sustainable packaging. Let's say the insert on the inside was ocean-bound plastic. You want to tell your consumer about that so they can appreciate what you're doing. So the idea is put a QR code, you scan that, and that takes you to your Instagram profile or whatever social media or a website page that story tells around the sustainable packaging. That's what we call video-enabled sustainable packaging. All right, next up, all metal CR10. This has a sort of pinch and twist opening, CR certified. And the awesome thing we've done here is we have a freshness insert that gives sort of, it's like a premium tea feeling, all metal, so it's infinitely recyclable. There's no plastic parts in this CR10. This is quickly becoming a fan favorite. You can see, I don't know if you can see here, but this has an embossed logo here. And actually this part's embossed as well. And then we put a cool little message in here that says, "Are you ready for the ultimate calm? Open and prepare to enjoy. It's time to relax," okay? So you can do some fun branding here. And again, all metal, zero plastic. This is an epic product, and it gives a really cool differentiated customer experience. Picture getting a product, whether it's flour, whether it's gummies or chocolates or whatever, or salves, right? In something like that with a little lid compared to just using generic packaging that everyone else has used, whether it's pop tops or little containers. So if you want to go differentiated like the top brands do in every industry, whether it's the Tiffany box or even the Coke bottle has its own shape, or the Patron bottle, or I could give you 1,000 examples, this is a great option to consider. All right, next up, we have another version of a CR10. This one's more of a traditional push down and turn option, and it's just a traditional CR10, okay? We got some cool embossing on this one as well, and a sustainability message on the back. One of the big things I'm also talking a lot about that I want people to think about in the new year is storytelling. Not just video-enabled sustainable packaging, which is a great type of storytelling, but on the packaging, use the packaging as a canvas to say why you're different. The days where you should just be saying flour, 1 gram, are over. Say flour, 1 gram, but then on the back, talk about your story. Talk about why you founded the company. Talk about what your values are. Talk about where you're from and where tell the story of your brand and what makes you different. That's what the top brands do. Look at, Tate's Cookies, which we're eating a lot of during this Christmas season. Like, look on the back and they'll tell you about their story and their bakery, and I don't recall exactly what it is, but they tell the story. They don't just say cookies on the front and nothing else. So storytelling is what great marketers do. Next up is ocean-bound plastic concentrate jars, 55% ocean plastic in the concentrate jars, glass concentrate jars. I'll show you this there. And then we also have this story card here. So you can, if you see like right there, we say this lid is made from 55% ocean-bound plastic. And then you got your concentrates here. So if you want to cut down on your packaging bill and you want to move away from boxes, which is right for some brands, it isn't for others. The box is premium and really nice, but you want to cut down a little bit, consider one of these story cards. So this story card you open up, and this could talk about your brand. For these packaging samples, we just made it about our packaging, and we really went into depth about the impact that the consumer is making by choosing this packaging. So we said, with every purchase, there's a long blurb here, but by the way, if you want to see these options, you can email wow, at contempopackaging.com. We're Contempo Specialty Packaging for anyone who doesn't know us, and we'll send you samples, our catalog. We've been doing cannabis packaging for over 5 years, and we have beautiful CR packaging for every cannabis product, and sustainability is now our new angle over the last few years, actually, to help brands differentiate, because you have to differentiate, and you don't want to be playing the commodity game unless you think you can be Walmart or Amazon. That's 2 companies that can play the commodity low price game. Everyone else has to differentiate. So chances are you should be thinking about how to differentiate. So with every purchase, this is speaking to the consumer, are helping fight back against this trend, which is ocean plastic pollution, protecting wildlife, and maintaining the integrity of our food stream. So that's what I call an impact statement. We tell the consumer the impact that they're making by choosing your brand. And this is powerful. Think of like Tom's shoes, right? You buy a pair and they donate a pair. They didn't keep it a secret that they were donating a pair. That was part of their story. So when you choose sustainable packaging, you need to tell your story, and we can help you do that as well. This card is made from FSC certified craft paper. So also we have a podcast, the Sustainable Packaging Show podcast, where we go into a lot of education about sustainable packaging. So if you don't know what FSC is, or you don't really know the true definition, what does ocean-bound plastic mean, you can go to the podcast, and we provide all that education for free to bring everyone up to speed on what's going on in the world of sustainable packaging. So you can check that out as well. And we're on to the next one. We got our hemp shopping bags, okay? So this is made out of 55% hemp fiber. Actually 50%, this one. 50% hemp fiber, and the other 50% is post-consumer recycled paper. So that's individuals that take things, put them in their recycling bin, and that goes through the recycling system. We take that fiber, and then we also take hemp fiber, and we blend it together to make these bags. So think about how sustainable that really is. Not only are we cutting down 50% less trees, we're using recycled content, and by using hemp sequesters carbon, as well as we're not cutting down trees. So hemp's one of the most sustainable packaging options in the world. And again, storytelling here. So less waste is a good thing. We could picture writing this on your exit bag rather than using a brown generic bag. At Garden Green, this is the brand that we created for the sake of these samples, we're highly conscious about our environmental footprint. That is why our shopping bags are made from 50% hemp fiber and are printed with soy-based inks. That's another thing. So there's the material, and then there's the inks and the foils and different sustainable options as well. That means 50% less trees are cut down while also supporting hemp farmers. So picture doing that versus being a generic commodity cannabis company just selling flour, and it goes in a brown generic bag. This is how the top brands in every other industry think, and cannabis is no different in this way. It's different in certain ways, but when it comes to branding, it's no different. All right, so we got 3 more. A lot of people, the cannabis industry is going through some turmoil, and this has been a year of readjusting for all of us. Prices are dropping. What do we do? Well, I have a great option. If you want to go low cost, you got your, not board pop top, traditional pop top, but made with 25% ocean-bound plastic. And we put a little divider in here, which can be awesome. This could be custom fit for your pre-rolls to fit in there nicely. But again, if you want to go, let's say your company's taking the position, we need to save everywhere we can. You can still save and cut back while not being a commodity. 25% ocean-bound plastic is a very incremental increase on what you'd pay for a virgin plastic one, but now you have this awesome story you can tell. You can tell the story about how you care about the ocean plastic pollution problem. And then again, video-enabled sustainable packaging. Drop a QR code. The consumer scans it and they take you to a video. And this actually, we have a video that we made that story tells here. So you invest in the sustainable packaging, you get credit for it. Consumers can appreciate. This is something I said early on. I said, you go to a sustainable innovation, you need to educate the consumer on what you've done so that they can appreciate it. The old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it make a sound? Well, that's a lot of what's happening in the sustainable packaging world. You go to sustainable, no one knows that you did it, and then you don't get the benefit, the business benefit, so you don't want to continue it. We don't want to do that. That's what video-enabled sustainable packaging is all about. That's what storytelling is about. So this is a super affordable way. You want to cut back on your packaging bill? I get it. Some brands should cut back. Some brands definitely shouldn't, but some brands should. Go with 25% ocean bound. Over 1 million packages, that's the same as 250,000 in 100% ocean bound. So it's not greenwashing to go with the low percentage. You're still collecting a lot of plastic from the oceans by moving to this option. Rounding it out, one of my favorite options is the locking tin. Again, all metal, locking tin, all metal, no plastic. I mean, this is just gorgeous embossing. Think about the premium feel of this as opposed to throwing pre-rolls in whatever generic options out there. So infinitely recyclable. You got a nice message from the CEO on the back, right? Storytelling, just like Tate's Cookies or like any other great brand you look at, they storytell. We're showing examples of this to try to inspire everyone. Storytelling is one way to differentiate. On top of switching up the packaging to look custom, storytelling is a way to differentiate. By the very definition, your story is differentiated because you're the only version of you. There's only one you. So by not telling that story, you're missing out on a chance to differentiate yourself. So all metal, no plastic for the tin itself. And then the insert here is made from ocean-bound plastic. We're one of the first companies, if not the only company in the world, doing vacs out of ocean-bound plastic. So whether that's Gillette razors or any product, this could apply, but especially for cannabis. And then if you look at this, this is really awesome. This flips up. So you can put matches in here or, picture that. This is, again, I'm a little biased because Contempo Specialty Packaging is my company, but I don't see cannabis packaging like this out there. This is the same caliber that the top brands, the Fortune 500 use in every other industry. And if you want to be one of those Fortune 500 cannabis brands, you got to learn from the greats. There's times to differentiate, and then there's times not to reinvent the wheel and just do what the greats do. Last but not least, we got our bamboo folding cartons. This is for a cartridge, another example of video-enabled sustainable packaging. So if you get samples from us, and again, wow@contempopackaging.com, you can email us. You get this sample and you scan it with your QR code. It's gonna pull up a video made for this brand, and it's gonna talk about the fact that the box is made out of bamboo, the positive environmental impact being made by moving to bamboo. And I think also this one here has a little, if you open this up here, it has a little divider, right? This is the kind of packaging you would buy from all the top brands in other industries that you buy from. Cannabis should be no different. It's got a little custom, beautiful pop top in here. And on this pop top, this pop tube is made from ocean-bound plastic, 100% ocean-bound plastic. Please recycle, okay? So these are some ideas, all right? There's your 12 days of Christmas, all tied in one. We would love to help you differentiate, navigate through this industry. We've been in it 5 years, so we saw it at the beginning. We see where it is now. And the one message I have for you is, a message of, you could call it a message of hope or a message of reality. Cannabis isn't going anywhere. We're in the best industry at the right time, and this is where the game begins. In the early days where you open your doors and supply and demand is in your favor, you can sell your packaging. The packaging matters less. It still is good to set yourself up right from the beginning, but it matters less. But now it's like any other industry in many mature markets. Not markets like New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, or Missouri. Some of these markets still will have the supply and demand in their favor, but eventually every market is going to exist like it's just going to be no different. Cannabis is just a product. If you differentiate, packaging is one way to, good way to do it, and you offer a good product at a fair price, you can thrive. And you know, those people who are doom and glooming about cannabis, they are maybe going through short-term struggles, but the big picture, cannabis is going to boom, and you're in the perfect place at the perfect time. And this is your opportunity to differentiate when a lot of people will close their doors and, you know, feel like the sky is falling. This is where, in my opinion, the game begins. Okay? Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Reach out to us, contempopackaging.com, wow@contempopackaging.com, and let's do some great work together in 2023. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.